What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Arena Goat Talk. I'm your host, EJ Burke. So on this episode, I have a young coach that has a championship pedigree as a player and as a coach. All right, and so this next guest is Mr. Speedy Clark. What's going on with you?
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you coming on talking ball with me,
Yes,
and
sir.
letting these people know who you are, and share your story. You know what I mean? There's people out there that know you as a coach, but they don't know you as a player. They don't know your history. I want them to know your history.
Yeah, they called me Daron Speedy Clark from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Booker T. Washington High School in Atlanta, where I played with Rashard Jones that played for the Miami Dolphins. And after college, then I went to college at Stillman College. Then I got an opportunity to go to the Cleveland Browns, work out for the Cleveland Browns. Then I played for the UFL the first year in 2009 with the New York Sentinels. All over housed in Orlando because they had the team Orlando Tuskers. And then I went to the CFL in 2010 with Coach Mark Trestman, and we got a great cup that year. And then after that, I just moved over and started playing arena. My first year with the Orlando Predators with Coach Pat O'Hara. Learned behind a lot of guys like T.T. Tolliver, Bobby Scipio, Robert Roger, and Josh Bush.
Mm-hmm. All right. So coming up, right? So were you always a receiver? Were you playing different positions to kind of learn from there where you wanted to be?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Growing up, I played quarterback, like from the age of 5 until like ninth grade. Then I moved to running back. And then when I went to college, my quarterback, Charles McCullum, he won the greats in the arena football right now. He was my quarterback in college, and he moved me to receiver because he was like, you can stay healthy. You can play there for a long time and receiver. Can't nobody check you because you faster than everybody in college in D2. So that was a great experience.
Mm-hmm. All right. So coming up, was there a specific motivation? Were you driven to be the best? Uh, I guess what drove you coming up? In this game.
Watching my cousin Greg Favors when he was drafted out of college from Mississippi State, and then he went to Kansas City with the Chiefs, and then he went to the Tennessee Titans under Jeff Fisher, who the commissioner of the AF1, and they went to the Super Bowl, but they lost to the Rams. I always followed my cousin's footsteps. He was like a leader to me when I was a kid. I always wanted to be like him. I seen he could make it to the NFL, so I chased that dream too.
Mm-hmm. Good, good. So let's talk about you graduating. Was it Stillman College? What was it?
Yes, sir.
So, right. So let's talk that experience. Because I want people who have been in your shoes and kind of use you as kind of motivation. So when you came out of college, kind of, I guess, talk about that, a deeper dive into your thought process um, when you're looking into going to the pros, and then that experience, and then how you got introduced to the indoor game.
So Stillman College is D2. We played against Tuskegee, Miles, Fort Valley, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse. Being an undersized receiver, I had to work harder than everybody coming from D2, and I had to stand out more. Playing against guys like Jacoby Jones, he went to Lane. He opened the doors for us to go to the NFL and get looks. So I was a pro hope at Stillman College, and I had my pro day with University of Alabama, and I ran the 4.32, and they opened the doors for me.
Mm-hmm. And so, when I guess as you're getting your experiences, right? So, how did indoor come into play?
Pat O'Hara, when I first came from Canada, he seen me play up there and he gave me a call and brought me into Orlando for a 2 day. So I did a 2 day, and the first day they just started calling me Speedy. He was like, "You that guy? I want to stick you around, keep you around." And then learning behind TT and Bobby Scipio, them they taught me a lot in this game.
Mm-hmm. And so, what was your first thoughts when you got a taste of arena?
Oh, it was so crazy in the building, playing in the Amway. That's my first time playing arena football, being able to interact with the fans. Cause like in the CFL, NFL, the fans so far away from you. But to be able to interact with the fans in Orlando, it was great. I loved it, and I just fell in love with the game of football and arena football.
Mm-hmm. And so, what did you think when you got your first taste of that wall?
Oh, I got my first taste of that wall in Spokane. I had ran a kick return back, and they tried to throw me over the wall. And they were like, "Welcome to arena football." But I had broke a kick return for like 40 yards. I almost ran it back. My first kick return in the AFL. It was against our Barstormers at that,
Okay.
and they tried to throw me over the wall. And after that, I started to learn how to use the wall. I catch it and
Mm-hmm.
push off the wall.
Mm-hmm. So, was there any specific, let's see, how can I say this? A specific kind of technique that you use, in the indoor game? Everybody, receivers have a specific technique outdoors. Maybe they have a specific technique indoors. How did you use the indoor game to best showcase what you have skill wise?
I learned how to use my speed. I learned how to change gears in my routes. Some routes ain't meant to be ran fast. So I learned how to change gears in my route, like the Poco. I can go from gear 1 to gear 2. Next thing you know, I'm at 5, and it's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll get into it later. I want to talk. I want to get deeper into you as a coach and how you coach your guys and all that. But before we get to that, let's talk about your transition from player to a coach.
Well, 2022 was my last time playing with you and Coach Higgs. I learned a lot from you guys. On the field, as you know, I was a coach on the field too, like a player coach type of guy, teaching guys under me how to run routes when they needed help. And then soon I retired, I got an opportunity to be the head coach, general manager for Cedar Rapids River Kings. That was a cool experience. I learned what not to do and what to do to make a organization grow. Then I got an opportunity to be the OC for Carolina in the NAL. And then I got an opportunity to come to Minnesota and win the championship with the Harbor Monsters.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of you as a coach now, right? So, how do you use your playing experience to help you make your players better? What
Um,
what what kind of techniques do you use? You dive into how do you make your players understand this game through your experience?
Being a receiver, I make sure my guys, when they're in motion, they keep their eyes downfield so they can be able to see the coverage. And run the right route, run the right depth. Make sure you're blocking. Make sure you're playing fast. I coach my guys up to HBO, help a brother out. That is catching the ball, blocking, interceptions, special teams, all 3 phases of the game.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, right. So you had your taste of championships as a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was that when you got your first ring? Was it I got my ring, I'm good, or was it like I like this experience, I want more?
As a player, I wanted more. I mean, after we won the championship, I was thinking about the next year. How can I get another one? How can I get another one? And becoming a coach and get my first championship as a coach, same thing. I want another one. I'm so locked in. I'm trying to get another one.
Hmm. So now that you got a championship as a coach, how do you get your what do you do as a coach to prepare yourself? What do you do with your roster and your playbook? What do you do to prepare yourself to line up for another championship?
First of all, I have to stay disciplined. Make sure my guys are disciplined, and because they follow the leader. But the team is really about the players. I
Hmm.
make sure them guys okay. Make sure they eating well, lifting weights, doing everything they have to do to be ready for the game. Mainly through the week, we watch a lot of film. We watch our opponents, their weaknesses, their strengths, and like make changes when we have to make changes.
Hmm. All right. So as a coach now, what is the environment that you strive for in your locker room amongst your team?
Brotherhood, a great culture. Guys who come in and understand the awareness, what's going on around them, the people around them, be great in the community, be leaders on and off the field, represent the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. That's my main thing.
Hmm. All right. So let's talk about your, you know, I guess the highs and the lows, the key experiences that you've experienced so far as a coach, you know, memorable moments that you're gonna hold on to help make yourself better? Are there any key moments, good or bad, that you're like, all right, I learned that experience, or I like that experience. Let's build on that.
Making the guys finish. We had a game this year when it got shaky at halftime, and being able to keep these guys focused at halftime, give them a small speech about what they need to do because they know their expectations, and get out there and win the game. So we fought the last 2 quarters to the end, and we came out with a big win and got an opportunity to go to the championship and win.
So when you got your first championship as a coach, how did that feel?
Oh, it was amazing. The Duluth, Minnesota fans, they are great here. They love everything we doing. They love the players. We have great sponsors, have a great owner, Jacob, Brianna, Steve. We have a lot of people that fight for this team.
hmm So since you won a championship as a player and a coach, is there a difference in the feeling, or a championship? You're the champ. Is it the same as a player as it is as a coach?
Oh, it feel the same. You just feel like a champion. And
Mm-hmm.
the more accolades you get being the champion, it make you want to work harder. You never, settle down and just try to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady is like one of my favorite players in the world, so I try to like do everything he do when it comes to being a champion.
Mm-hmm. So looking at you as a coach, right? So
Hmm.
let's chop it up and get the best out of each other, coaching wise. So what do you strive for? What do you look for in players when you're going through film? You're thinking about the profile of guys that you want to have on your roster. What does that profile kind of look like?
Again, I start off again with discipline. Guys blocking, doing everything they had to do on the field to help the team. Guys who like absent-minded, like you mess up on one play, don't turn around and just keep, messing up again, because the more you mess up, we're gonna be down in the game. Um, Guys that communicate, guys who have the ability to like overcome adversity, everything like that when they become football player, because football is an emotional game, so you gotta be able to play it to the end.
Mm-hmm. My 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 goal, my thought process is I always wanted to find players who I can teach the game, and I don't want robots, right?
Yes, sir.
I want a guy that you teach them the game. It always sounds good if you guys do exactly what you want. You know, almost like a robot. If I say do this, you do this. I like that, but at the same time, I want you to be able to dissect the game as a player, right? So if I
Yeah.
say, hey, look for this, right? I'm not gonna, speak on necessarily the receiver aspect of it. This is something that you would know a little more about. But as a receiver, right? If you say to a guy, "This is how I want you to run your routes," and then if the defender gives you this, think about running this, right? But it's the communication between you and the player, right? You're gonna stimulate that player's mind, and they're going to be able to understand stuff that you won't have to give them all the keys all the time. It's like I didn't put enough into you that you're going to understand again, that I could sit back and be like, you got this now. So they can come back after the play. Hey, coach, I ran this way. Okay, now I see that your mind's going. Now once they ask you, now it's like, okay, I see where you're going. So
Hmm.
let's now think about doing this, right? You want those guys who can be leaders, who are not robots, but they're going to learn the game, and they're going to be able to take what they see on the field, bring it to you, and both of y'all work together, and y'all going to build a monster as far as your players. This is my opinion.
Yes, sir. That's big. That's one thing about, like, being able to process information fast,
Mm-hmm.
being able to do things on the move, make changes during the game. Guys, like you said back in, like when we watch film, we watch, like you said, the weaknesses of the defense, what to do different if he jump outside or if he stay in the box. So we just adjust on the fly, and we have calls when we see different sets in the defense. Because some people like to make everything look like man, but we
Mm-hmm.
learn how to adjust on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say it's like giving them tools for the toolbox.
Yes, sir.
And everything that I end up saying, I heard from somebody.
Yep.
And as a coach, it's like I don't ever want to come across as I know it all. You can learn something from players. You can learn
Mm-hmm.
something from a fan. You take what you learn. Okay, Frank. A fan said something pretty cool. I could dig it. I could take a
Yeah.
piece of that and use it. So I always feel the need to be open. Um, you can learn. If you ain't learning, you ain't getting better. Every
Nope.
single day, you should be able to get something. And to me, I feel like, even with your coaching staff, everybody should be an expert in something. You as a head coach don't have to know it all. You just have to have the right people around you.
Yes, sir.
You know what
You
I
got to
mean?
have
That's
people around you who you can learn from, and they can learn from you. There's brotherhood in the coaching staff.
mhm,
That means a lot. We got to bond. We got to be on the same page at all times because it's three phases of the game: defense, offense, and special teams. So everybody play a part.
mhm. So, as far as your coaching staff, how do you feel? Even talk about some of your coaching staff. Just dig into that. Let people know. Hey, this is me. I got this coach. I got this coach. I like this coach because he does this. Just kind of touch base on things.
Um, I haven't announced my DC yet, but I have one. But my offense assistant, Dan Riffro, he do a lot of great things for me. He also the special team coach this year. He do a lot of great things for me. He be in the box during the game. He let me know what I don't see, helping me out with that. Coach MJ, he the defense assistant. I love what he do on and off the field. Coach MJ, he's a great defensive mind guy. He from Miami, but he live in the Minneapolis area, and he do a lot of great things in the community up there as well.
Mm-hmm. So I always like to have, everybody should have it, but just me, all I know how to be is transparent. You know what I mean? But um, having the good mentors, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you know, we haven't spoken like we used to when you were playing, and even
Yeah.
then I was kind of quiet. But kind of speak to who you kind of look up to as kind of like your mentors and things that you've learned from those guys.
In the arena game, I learned a lot from Coach Pat O'Hara, James Fuller. I learned a lot from Lee Johnson, a lot of great coaches. They taught me how to, run my routes the right way. Slow down, like they say, you're not outdoors no more, so you got to pace your routes. So I learned a lot from them guys when I first came in the game, and also my last year with you, Coach Higgs. I learned a lot from you guys as well too when I was at the back end of my career.
Hmm. Again, there's always something you can learn. You just have to be humble enough to take that information and apply to what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? This is
Yes, sir.
something my mentors are kind of, I reach out to Jay Gruden, Les Moss, Pat O'Hara, um, those kind of my guys. And so whenever I have anything, I am not afraid to hit them up and be like, hey, I'm thinking this. Am I wrong? Or what should I be thinking when this situation pops up? Whether it's a situation play wise on the field, a situation in the front office, and how you should handle the administrative duties as a coach and GM and all that stuff. Just for me, I say just don't be afraid to reach out to those guys on anything. If they're the right mentors and they're going to take your information and it's a private conversation between you two and they're going to try to make you better.
Yes, sir. I always keep them guys in my corner. They know more than I know, so I love to soak up game and get better as a coach myself.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what do you as far as your situation in Minnesota, kind of speak to why that is a situation that recruits should go to, and what makes that situation special.
We have a great owner. We have a great community. They love arena football here. All you gotta do is just come here and be very aware of things around you and just be a champion. It's a championship vibe here. We do a lot of great things. I have a lot of great vets. My quarterback, like you said, Javante Johnson, receiver Jamal Couch. I have nose guard from Las Vegas, Claude. I have my safety coming back, Sosa and Mason. Shahil, the AF1 sack leader from last year. I have a lot of great guys in my locker room who to lead, and you guys should follow.
Hmm. So what's so special about the city? You know what I mean? Some guys are driven by
Yeah.
some things within the city. Or how Orlando is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's an attractive thing to say? Hey, shoot, I'm gonna see what they're talking about up there in Minnesota.
So Minnesota have mountains and they have like a beach, but it's not the ocean, but it's a lake. But it's like a beach down in Florida. So it's it best of both worlds, a mountain, a beach. They have nice little ships downtown that you can go get on with your family and things like that. You're like it's a different look than the South.
Definitely. So speaking of that, so you're was it born and raised in like Atlanta, that kind of area,
Yes,
right?
Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm.
So how was that feeling when you're leaving that area? You played in different areas, right?
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing about arena is you end up learning so much about different cities, different cultures, that you're like, I never would have thought I'd be in Minnesota or something like that. I never thought I'd end up in Oklahoma or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
kind of touch base on your journey about where you've been as a coach, and talk about those experiences for people who they're learning arena, they're debating on whether they want to play arena. Like, touch on how beautiful the experiences or whatever that you gained through your years.
Through my years, well, like you said, coming from Atlanta, after high school, I was always on the go. I went to college in Alabama, then went to Cleveland, then went to Montreal, and then I ended up in Orlando in arena football. It was a great experience. I love Orlando. It's normally a spot we used to go to when we love just for vacation, but I ended up being there playing football year round. Then I went to um, Albuquerque, Mexico City, Cleveland Gladiators, Spokane, Washington, Sioux Falls, Bloomington, Illinois, and was able to play in Alaska against the team up there.
Mm-hmm.
Football, it really gave me an opportunity to see all 50 states, 50, well, how many of them states we have. Even we have Puerto Rico now. I haven't been there, but football have took me all around the United States. I'm on my second passport being able to play football.
Mm-hmm. So how do you share those experiences with guys that you come across, your players, right? So maybe
Mm-hmm.
they're to you for like mentorship or whatever, because this game gets deeper, and you build those bonds with your players. They end up playing extra hard for you because they feel like you speak their language. How do you share
Um,
your experiences with your guys?
I tell guys most of the times that the more you travel, the more you learn. The more you sit in one spot, you be lost what's going on in the world, and you be able to see different things, taste different food. Everybody got different cultures. You get to learn on the go, and you get to leave your stamp in that city. Like everywhere you go, they get people remember them champions. It could be 50 years from here, but they remember when you won the championship in 2025. So I tell
Hmm.
them guys to like have fun, but stay out of trouble, be aware, but play good football, and the fans, the kids, they all will love you.
Hmm. All right. So, what's your expectations for your program? Whenever your name is stamped on something, right? And right now, your name is stamped on the Minnesota Monsters, right? So, what's your expectations for your program? What's your expectations for your season?
Oh, win the championship. We coming in to compete. Like I said, I have a lot of great veterans with a lot of guys coming behind them. We coming in to compete. We ain't gonna talk much on social media, just posting stuff. We're gonna play football. We're gonna play fast. We're gonna play together. We're gonna play all three phases: offense,
Mm-hmm.
defense, and special team. We're gonna play some football up here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, looking at your landscape of teams that you're going to be facing this year, you know, talk about whatever you choose, but what is some of the key teams, key experiences that you're looking forward to this upcoming season?
I'm ready to play everybody. I really don't know all the guys. I just know Coach Ware. I know Cisse. Me and Cisse played each other in high school in football. Um, I know Reggie Gray. He's gonna be the offense coordinator for Kentucky. Other than that, I don't know the other guys, but it's personal to me. I just want to play football. Well, coach some
Mm-hmm.
good football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. So, um, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. But last couple questions is because again, I want people to kind of feel you, right? I want them to understand you, and you're not just somebody that they looked up on social media. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I want them to understand your personality, um, and your experiences, what you bring to the table. So, kind of talk about you as a coach. Uh, what what makes you special as a coach? What do you bring to the table when they sign with you? What are they going to get from you?
Oh, I'm very competitive. I bring energy. I want guys to give me all their effort. Guys come in and do the right thing on and off the field. I'm very open when you need conversations about life, and I'm a fun guy. But being a head coach, I'm more serious now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to. They got to know when to draw the line. Yeah, we're gonna have fun, but now her time for that. We got business to take care of.
Yeah, we
We
got to
have
win games.
because if we ain't winning games, then none of us gonna have a job.
It's no fun.
Yeah, so that's what they just gotta understand when to cut that off, and if
Yep,
they don't, then that's on you to be like, all right, I gave you the expectations. All right, if you're not following the expectations, just like the owner when he hired me, he gave me expectations. So if I don't follow the expectations, I'm out of a job. So if
yep,
me as a coach and I tell you what the expectations are, you're falling short of it, you're being goofy in meetings, you're not a leader like I asked you to be, or whatever the case may be, you know what comes next. You know what I mean? That was one thing that I definitely had to learn, and people got to understand. Even if they like you, love you as a coach, like you, love you as a person, they have to at the end of the day understand that you have to be able to cut things loose when things come down. I may love you as a person, but I have to cut you.
hmm
I can help you find another team or whatever. But as far as what the expectations are here, you kind of fell short. And if I don't hold you to a certain standard, I don't hold you to a championship standard, then that falls on me as a coach.
yes, sir.
That's definitely something, you know, me and you will talk more as this time goes on, as you need. Um, I try to do my best to help whoever whatever you need or whatever. But that's one piece that I would definitely say to you is um, always, like we always say, the best plays, but the best is going to be on the field. But sometimes when um, you get close with a player, they have to understand what the expectation is, and whether we're close and I'm a mentor to you and all, you should be fighting your ass off for me.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you bullshit me in practice, you
You getting
bullshit.
cut?
You have to get cut. That doesn't change how I feel about you personally. You
It's a
know,
business.
there has to be that clear separation. If they don't understand that, then they will understand that with years down the line. They just ain't gonna understand it right now. All
Yes,
right. So,
sir.
but all right. So, um, let's talk about advice that you want to give anybody who's a young speedy thinking about playing arena ball. they're thinking about what they want to do with football. Do I still want to try this thing out? What's the advice that you would give a young Speedy that was in your place? You know,
Hey,
you
work hard. Work hard. The harder you work, you'll get your opportunity. Everybody's watching. So make sure you be a professional on any team you've been on. Be a professional on and off the field. Come to work. Like I tell the guys, practice is the job and the game is the fun part. So when you come in here, we want all your effort. I need just 2 hours of great hard work so we can get ready for the opponent. Never be held up on one win. We beat up on somebody. Monday, we on to the next. So
mm,
guys, learn how to process information, train hard, be a coachable player, and be able to have that championship mindset on any stage you get on.
mm-hmm. All right. So last thing is anything you want to say going into this season? Kind of make any statement that you want to make in regards to what your expectations are for the future, for the season. You know, the floor is yours.
Hey, I just want to tell the fans in Minnesota, go get your tickets. They'll be out very soon. We had a press conference this Wednesday, October 29th, announcing the team and showing the new logo on the F1 announcement with Jerry and with Jeff Fisher. So you guys be looking out for that. Get your tickets, get your merchandise, and watch the best show on turf in 2026.
Yes, sir. So appreciate you coming on, and definitely, let's stay in touch, and however I can help you. Shoot, you got my number. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, but appreciate your time. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. But good luck going into the season, and the best of luck to you. And shoot, I like to see you get a ring going into the season as the new guy
Yes,
on the
sir.
block.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity to come on Goat Talk and talk with one of the best coaches in the league. Love you guys.
All right, good night. Appreciate you.
Yeah.